And then fast forward a little bit, we're in 2006, 7. I started dabbling in rap stuff. Like, I was curious. I'm like, because my cousin was doing it. I'm like, they can do it. Why can't I do it? I want to give it a shot. So I have a CD of rap stuff. Songs called Bitches on the Side, What You Want From Me.
Real good rap stuff. Yeah.
It's
the real deal stuff.
It's real deal.
Bitches on the Side is real stuff. We are back, everybody, for another episode of Level Up Cleveland. And this week we have Chris Esquivel from MonQue.
MonQue.
What's up, dude?
How's it going, brother?
Thanks for coming down, coming up.
Yeah, it's been a while since we saw each other.
Yeah, man. We kind of know Chris. We know the guys from MonQue. They're friends of ours, actually. They are another band here from Level 5. Season 1, I believe it's Season 1. We had RPR down here. It was Dion Slyman and Adam Gray. And RPR was like the other three guys from MonQue. And Chris is actually the lead singer and guitar player. Writes almost all MonQue songs, pretty much all of them.
Right, foundation, yep.
Yep. And so we had those guys down here. You got to meet them then. We had Mondo on the Rochambeau episode, I believe. He was on here for that, so you got to meet Mondo there. And today we got Chris. And anybody that isn't familiar with MonQue, that's MonQue.
Correct.
And also, they're pretty much like a punk band.
Poppy.
Pop punk. Yeah, like a pop punk, kind of like the modern punk that you hear a lot today. Done well, very well. Catchy stuff, like most punk is supposed to be. Real catchy, hooky type thing. It's really starting to take off a little more, I've noticed. You guys are playing out a lot more.
Playing out, yes.
You guys already have one CD done. You guys are already starting to write another one?
Yeah, I'm getting a studio together myself, and we're going to really go in and finally take care of business.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's been a long journey to get a really good quality CD.
Yeah, there's a little bit of drama goes in it. There's always drama with bands, but it just took a little while to get it done.
It took a while, yep.
A lot of hands on it and a lot of things like that. It happens, though. It does happen.
It's a learning process. It's our
but it is good, and I'll tell you what, live is when the stuff you guys do, I think, really shines anyway.
Yeah.
I think if you really want to get the feel of what you guys are doing, I feel
live. Really a live band.
Yeah, I think most of the punk pop and punk stuff is way better live, and it's hard to capture that on an audio recording, anyways. So you're an interesting guy. I remember when you first started coming down here to Level 5, you were a new face. No one really knew who you were or knew of you.
6 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, it's been 6 years.
Yeah.
And you had a pretty interesting story. Right away, we noticed you could play guitar, you could sing, you were playing bass, of all things in the
very
beginning.
shy about all of it.
Yeah, and you were kind of like introverted kind of person in a way. You were just different guy. And I think we've all kind of slowly watched you come out of your shell a little bit, and you went from playing some cover stuff and doing stuff like that with Dion and that into writing your own stuff and blossoming into what it is now.
Yep. Never thought it was going to come to that.
Yeah.
Just thought it was a fun little hobby, drink some beers and
yeah. And here you
music,
are.
Yeah.
Right. And now you've got yourself like this is part of what you are.
Playing out, getting a first review, a great review.
Yeah, dude.
The Rust Belt guys, yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude. Our buddy old ZM Delgado.
Yeah. He wrote us a great review.
Huge friend of the show.
I almost cried. I read it twice. Second time, I'm like,
oh, you should get it. You should frame it, print it, frame it, and
took
put
care
it.
Of that, yeah.
Oh, did he really?
It's gonna be done,
yeah, boy. Dion, nice move. So let's tell the story about how you started and how you come around to doing what you're doing right now. You're a pretty interesting story. When did you start playing guitar?
Well, I've been trying since I was like 15, 16, bought a Fender Strat off a guy I was dishwashing. And this busboy's like, I got a guitar. And I'm like, I'll buy it, $100, a Strat. Probably worth a few more bucks than that today. Went to a guitar lesson, and the guy tried to teach me a Pretender song. Back on the Train Gang?
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? I'm like, he didn't even ask me, what do you like? It's what he liked. So he tried to teach me this song, and I was done. Like, not even chords, just
single notes.
Fingers, yeah, single notes. I'm like, this is hard, man. And then when I turned about 18, 19, I had some friends in a band, Jeff Bros, played with Kid Wicked. Remember Kid Wicked?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So he was a bass player for them. Then he left that and started another band, which I don't remember the name. But his guitar player became my guitar teacher. I told him, all I want to do is learn how to play some songs. You got to learn theory. I'm like, just teach me how to do it. I played saxophone in middle school.
Oh, so
I had some kind of musical background, correct. And so he did what I asked, and then I started playing bass for another band we kind of tried to get together. The bass is fun to me. Like, that's just a fun, easy instrument to learn. If you kids want to get in a band fast, play the bass. It's just easy.
A lot of need for basses, too, yeah.
But I have really big hands, and back then was the big hair metal days, and that's all the music back then, and I just couldn't figure that stuff out to save my life or even play it. I'm like, I'm never going to be a guitar player. I always liked singing. That's what I really wanted to do since I was a little kid. Talent shows when I was in 3rd grade, singing to Elvis Presley records, 6th grade, a field camp thing. We did a little talent show. And I sang there. And then some girls that I went to school with, they're like, oh, my God, I didn't know you could sing. I'm like, I don't know if I can sing it. I'm obsessed with it. So they asked me to be the lead role of Danny in Grease.
Oh, my God.
So, yeah, in 6th grade. And the teachers let us put it all together ourselves and then entertain 3 turnovers of lunch. And I'm kind of like a ham. I like that kind of interacting with people. Very shy when I was younger, but never shy when it came to singing. And then from there, I was probably 18, 19, started playing the guitar. Never got great, never even tried to get great. I know guys sit around for like 8 hours a day honing in their craft.
Oh, yeah, they lock themselves away.
Not me. So then I just joined a band called the Swirling Tongues.
Nice
Toby,
name. Nice name.
John Cohen, yeah. And I found them in the Scene magazine back then, and they were looking for a singer. Never sang for a band before. I'm like, I'm just going to give it a shot. Scared, terrified. Audition, just made up some words, scatting, blah, blah, blah. Like, all right. Then we just started writing songs. We played Symposium, like in a year and a half, probably 15 songs, and we're doing some covers. And then we broke up and never did music again. I turned 50. I always played acoustic guitar because I like singing.
So yeah, in between that and when you got back into it recently,
yeah,
you were always playing and singing, and you were doing it, but you just didn't play for people anymore.
I gave some of the best couch concerts a man can give.
Yeah, but how often were you doing it? Like consistent?
I'd go a month trying to play stuff, learn stuff, put the guitar down for 2 months, come back, play, get it, just.
And what are you doing? Like, what are you playing here? What is
Beatles. I'm a Beatles fanatic.
Okay.
And doo-wop music when I was a kid.
Okay.
I was obsessed with all
so
that.
Vocally, like you're really a vocal
crooner.
person. Yeah.
I was vocally, lyrics, loved lyrics, loved how someone sang them as opposed to just reading them. So to me, it's not when I write
performance
of the lyrics. So it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yeah, right.
And that's what I learned very young. And then in 2003, I had a restaurant I owned for 3 years. Lost that, got my guitar, and I'm like...
Now, were you a cook at this time? Like, did something else?
I was a restaurateur. I owned the restaurant, yeah.
But did you start off as a...
in 92, I started cooking.
Okay.
With my brother, owned a restaurant called the Michis in Lakewood. Down the line, 96, 97, I went to culinary school at Tri-C. Things happened. He lost a restaurant. Me and my younger brother in 2000 tried to take it back over. Recession, new president. They're fighting about who's going to be the president. All that crap going on. Anthrax, the 9/11s happened.
Oh, yeah.
Just bad timing. Lost it. Started working in a cabinet shop, driving a truck. And then my cousin came back from Mexico, and he was in a rap group. Latina Cartel Latina. I'm sorry, Sean.
One of the two?
One of the two. And then he started recording on this machine called the MR8 digital recorder. And by this, I already had like 2 songs kind of wrote on my acoustic, but I had no way to record it. Didn't know anything about the recording business. So then he comes into my life from Mexico and starts showing me how he's recording rap songs and stuff. I'm like, I want one of those. I got it. I'd get my Casio keyboards out. I'd play a drum beat, 5 minutes, just record it. Then I go back and I'd record just the guitar parts I had, tracking it. Then you had to bounce, but I didn't. I'm an idiot when it comes to technology. So I'm trying to learn all this stuff. I don't know how to bounce or any of that stuff. I just know I can do it. Everything had to be one take, too, because I didn't know how to punch in and out and clip this out.
Right. So if you didn't get it right, you were fucked.
Oh, yeah, you had to do it all over again. So I started doing that, and then he got into the studio, like buying the computer, all the software Sonar I think he was using back then. And I got one. He showed me, set me up and all that, and then I started writing on that. It took a while to figure all that stuff out. So then I started doing I had like a bunch of demo stuff I have on MR8. It's interesting stuff. I'll probably never go back to it, but I thought it was pretty good for just beginning. I wrote all the lyrics for the first band. Didn't play an instrument. So I'm figuring out, I knew guitar enough where I know I can write a song. I played this Beatles stuff.
Yeah, right. Just, I know enough chords.
Yeah, I can put a song together real easy. And then fast forward a little bit, we're in 2006, 7. I started dabbling in rap stuff. Like, I was curious. I'm like, because my cousin was doing it. I'm like, they can do it. Why can't I do it? I want to give it a shot. So I have a CD of rap stuff. Songs called Bitches on the Side, What You Want From Me.
Real good rap stuff. Yeah.
The
real deal stuff.
It's real deal.
Bitches on the Side is real stuff.
Have you heard it?
No, but I mean, like, okay. I don't have to. Title gives it away. Okay.
So I was doing that for years, just that style, and then mixing up. I can get better quality recordings. I got the Fruity Loops set up, or I can do all the drums and then send them over to the Sonar. And started writing that. And then I turned 50. And I'm like, I want to know what it feels like to be on stage and playing and doing stuff. Put an ad in the Scene magazine titled, Looking for Other Musicians Who Suck Like Me.
Oh.
Dion's the first guy to call me back. Dion's our drummer. I love you, Dion. This would not be happening if it wasn't for him. Dude, I love your ad. You play bass? I'm like, I have one. I mess around. Come on down Friday. We're jamming. So he's jamming with this other guy, and then we were jamming for a couple months. And then things just kind of deteriorated, and then me and him were just hooking up and just drinking. And a couple weeks go by, and I'm like, I really want to play music. Not thinking about playing out or anything. I want to write music. And he's a drummer. I didn't know any musicians growing up. That's the other thing. I didn't know any guitar players, drummers. I never hung around.
So putting a band together is kind of tough when you don't know anybody.
Yeah, I don't know anybody. So, and Dion was super cool, laid back, drinking, having fun, laughing. And then I wrote 2 songs in 1 week, originals, didn't go back to old stuff, always fresh. And it just sounded good. And I'm like, okay, I think this can work. I think this is all right. And then another song. I think I wrote like 7 songs. Probably in like a 6-month period, a song a month maybe.
And as that's happening, like you're somebody that's never really wrote much as far as like you.
I wrote songs. I wrote a lot of songs from 2003. I started really writing and with the instrument, but never
complete songs. Like we like
complete.
Oh yeah.
Complete songs. But I never thought about I can do this for like not even a living, but actually go out and do something with it. And then we did that 7 months, probably had 7 songs. Bittersweet Revenge, we love you guys. Mark, the late great Mark, he's like, we're playing a show. I think it was Bar Cleveland. Open up for us. We got to kill some time. I'm like, dude, we only got like 7 songs. He's like, who cares, man? Just fucking play. Just come on. And it was just me and Dion. We didn't even have Mondo yet. It was just the 2 of us playing. We're like the White Stripes or something.
Yeah, it was. I remember.
And I'm not even that good of a guitar player to even pull that off. But people were digging us. Like, people were coming in our room and like, what's this? What's this? You know, I'm like, I told them, like, I think we got something. We just need the rest of the band, you know, to really pull it off. And so we opened up. I'll tell you what, 2 hours before the show, I'm doing breathing exercises. I'm having panic attacks. I'm like, I'm shaking all day. I can't stop thinking about it.
Did you sleep even? Like, did you even? Yeah,
Dude,
right.
It was rough.
Nervous.
We went on. We did our thing. As we're leaving, well, Mondo was there. I could see him watching us, but I'm so focused even today when I'm playing. I'm really focused on what I'm doing, guitar, singing,
splitting the brain.
The lyrics, trying to remember all this stuff. So Mondo came up to us after show. Hey, you looking for a bass player? And I'm like, yeah. Do you like what you heard? He goes, yeah. I'm like, come on down. By this time, we had already auditioned like 2 other bass players. One guy thought he was Geddy Lee. The other guy said my songs are unorthodox. I'm like, they're 3-chord songs. I don't know. What does that even mean? They're 3 chords. I'm like, it don't get any simpler. So Mondo came, and Mondo's a beast, man. I try and tell him, oh, this is the just play. Start playing, and he's just watching my hands, and all of a sudden, boom, he's in.
Wow.
And it was just amazing. It's like how fast that's great.
So you were feeling the energy there, and you were like, well, there's the next guy.
Yeah. And the other thing I like to do, I'm writing the song, but I don't think the songs are complete until the boys put their music over it. And I don't dictate anything. I know I'm writing them. I know what I hear in my head, but I don't ever relay that to anybody. I want your perspective. I want how are you feeling when you hear this. Same thing with Mondo. I don't say play these notes. You're a bass player. You guys they're great musicians. You don't need my input. I'm just giving you a blueprint of my progression and what I'm singing. I want to know what you're feeling when you do it. The most beautiful feeling in the world is when those guys, I present a song and they put their touch on it.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's like as they say today, very organic.
Yeah.
And how it grows and lives almost like, you know, you have your idea, which is cool that you allow, you know, not everybody is like that too. I mean, there's a lot of situations where guys want to really just basically control the whole entire process all the way through. Well, and it's funny because, you know, like I'm Pat and I always wrote similarly. You know, he had an idea, then he'd throw it at me, or I had an idea and I'd throw it at him, and the end result wasn't always, you know, what you originally heard it in your head.
Well, it never comes out the original.
But it's usually much better.
Yeah.
So and to be honest with you, that process is one of the most exciting processes. Yeah, it's a great thing. You know, like it was like a present. I would give my idea to Pat, and what I got back was like a gift. It was like, it was always like, all right, dude, I polished it. As Pat would always say, I polished up your turd.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, but still, it was a lot of fun, man. And it is. You're right.
Yeah.
It's like the way it grows and the way it becomes what it does.
There's nothing.
Yeah.
And then there's something.
Yeah, I swear I'll say it 100 million times. Everyone should write at least one song and just have it, do it, have your song written and let you have that you could at any time hit play and be like, yeah, that's my song.
I did this.
It's
like painting a picture.
There's something to be said about it.
I painted that. I wrote this. I took all this time. And when I hear the songs, I know I'm in my living room. This song came from a living room.
Yeah.
Sitting,
it's
watching
crazy.
television.
How most stuff was written.
Yeah.
You don't even realize it, but that's how it usually happens.
Yeah.
So you guys now are, you basically come into here, you get Mondo in the band.
Yes, Mondo's in the band.
And he got it. He comes and sees this the White Stripes
Yeah,
gig
White
that you
Stripes
guys
gig,
pull
yeah.
off, and you do the gig. He's like, hey, I really want to join the band. He comes, and then immediately he's
Starts
like,
playing,
that's the guy.
It's like,
Okay.
this is what we've been waiting for.
And then the three of you actually played together for a while before Adam actually joins the band. There's just the three of you.
Yep.
So at some point,
We always knew we needed another guitar player.
and throughout that whole entire time, you guys every time you guys were writing new material constantly, always writing new songs, adding more stuff. And during that couple years period, you guys had written basically what becomes your first album. But eventually, you decided to bring in another guitar player. And this is kind of like this is kind of an interesting part to me. While all this is going on, kind of with the recording of the album and all that, that's when you bring in Adam, right? Like, it's kind of like...
Well, nothing was ever really done as far as the album.
Not done, but I mean, like...
A work in
You'd
process,
already started recording some of that
process,
album, right?
correct,
You'd
yeah.
already started recording it before Adam came in.
Yeah.
So during that, he comes in, right? And what first of all, what prompted that? What made you decide that you needed
The story
that?
with Adam is when I was still playing bass with Dion, he saw an ad, I believe. I wish they were here to talk for themselves. But he came to the studio, and I had the bass, Dion's got the drums, and we thought we was going to find someone to jam with before we actually started doing our thing. And then he scared me because I'm not a great musician. I have a talent of writing songs. He came in and he's like, you know your bass runs? You know this? Like talking techno to me and scared the shit out of me. I'm like, no. And then he started playing like was classical rock stuff. I'm like, if you two want to jam, I'm like, you're not going to hurt my feelings. I'm like, I'm not feeling that kind of music. And so basically Dion said, nah, we're going to basically pass in a nice way. Then he gets back with him a couple of years later, and they start jamming. They start jamming, and they start doing the RPR stuff. And I knew about it. I'm like, I don't care. Do whatever you want to do. So they start jamming that stuff, and then I started getting to hear him play. And I'm like, you think this dude might want to join MonQue? So we asked him. He came. We said, come to practice first, and then see if you like it, and if you want to see if we can do something. He's another one. He took some tapes home with the songs and pretty much came back, knew every friggin' song. I'm like, holy shit.
That's
it
good. That's, yeah.
great.
So,
yeah.
and he's got writing, and he has the
And he's a
writing ability
songwriter
too.
too,
Yeah, because
yeah.
the RPR is all his songs.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so you're adding another creative mind to the whole
Correct,
process
yes.
also, which is like...
And a whole nother
And it
level of
it gives you some
sound.
breathing room too, because
Yeah.
you're the guitar player. Now you're not,
If I mess up,
he's covering you.
he's covering me.
Sweet. All right, we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we got Chris here from MonQue. A couple minutes. This June 10th, Level Up Cleveland Concert Series presents Bittersweet Revenge.
You can try to live, but you have to try to die.
Olathia.
Time to rock and roll, ready for the sun forsaken.
And Craig Martini.
I'm still here, I no longer want to stay.
See them all June 10th at the Maple Grove Tavern. Show starts at 8 p.m. 21 or over. Go to levelupcleveland.com for tickets and information. And we are back with Chris Esquivel
Hola, amigo.
from MonQue. And that's MonQue. Not Monique. Not any other things that people screw it all up with. It's MonQue. MonQue. When you see it, love it. Let's talk about it, because I'm curious to know how it actually came about, and and the spelling of it and all that stuff.
We took a long time to come up with a name, and I did really want a one-word name, Nirvana or a compound Green Day. No the this and the that. Just here's what we are. Monkeys are fun. Barrel of Monkey, Monkey Business, just Monkey. There's a lot of bands out there with Monkey in it. So we spelled it different in case we have to copyright this and something does happen.
Who came up with the spelling?
I think I just
like the only problem I have with
messing around. Yeah.
Well, the only problem I have with it is it can cause confusion. You know,
until you get famous.
Well, yes.
And then there's
but then who cares at that point? What the hell the name
mispronounce
is?
Nirvana.
But what I'm saying is it's just because when you hear monkey, if you hear it with the ear, I don't know that you will ever go to this spelling in trying to find you.
Right.
But that being said, it is clever. It looks good.
It looks good.
Yeah, it really does. It looks good. And you guys actually have a logo that goes with it. You still?
I got my monkey T-shirt on.
There it is. Absolutely. What that timing couldn't have been perfect. Now who did that?
We paid. Oh my God, her name. She's gonna kill me. Amanda is her name.
That's good.
She's an artist.
So she can go with one name if it's just if she's not Amanda. That's good enough.
I knew she was an artist, and I'm like, we need a logo. So she's like, let me work on it. And I'm like, I kind of know what I want. I got a tattoo on my arm from Porno for Pyros, the devil on there. And I'm like, I kind of want in this style, you know. So she came back and she drew a picture of it. It didn't look like this yet, but the picture was awesome. I'm like, that's it. I gave her $110 for drawing it. Then I took it to my cousin's friend who does computer art. I gave him it, and he turned that original picture into this.
Wow, that's like more of a 3D almost, even though it's just a drawing.
But it was in color. It was brown, and he gave it a gold tooth and an earring and all that. Then Dion took this, which I think this is our final in many colors. On his drum set is yellow. This is white now, but it just looks cool. Yeah,
it's a real cool logo. It's a cool name, and it's a cool spelling, visually especially.
It's interesting, yeah. It's different. Once you tell people, then they get it. It's going to be a lot of telling people.
The first that's not Monique. Yeah, you got to make sure. So the first CD you guys have released is also self-titled MonQue.
Just
so
MonQue.
The first one's going to be MonQue, like some of the other bands, and just keeping with that tradition of kind of doing that.
Well, the first CD to me it's not a real CD yet.
It's kind of like Motley Crue's first one. It's like a demo that became an album by accident.
The recording is so. It's enough to but I think we're a live band, and we need to capture that if possible in the recording. So I'm getting a studio together as we speak. I just got my computer, the screens and stuff like that. And then we're going to start hitting my basement once I get my monitors and all the interface stuff. And as you know, it costs a lot of money.
Well, here's what I don't understand. I'm just curious. This is just me being curious, though. And this is, none of my business. If you want to tell me, it's none of my business. But especially like in today's world where there's some real good studios out there now that are not crazily expensive. Signal Flow is really not an expensive studio. There's a lot more expensive studios than them. Where as long as you have your music down and you have it all ready, you can literally march right in, lay it all down, get it all mixed, and leave with a complete thing. And after what you just went through, and how long it took, why not?
Here's the problem.
Okay.
Control. I don't know what anybody's doing to it. I told you I recorded stuff. I know what I want to hear. I don't tell anyone what to play, but I definitely know what I want to hear. And I haven't got it yet. And I'm going to have to do it myself, I believe, in a studio where we can take our time. I was just talking to Adam today about it. I'm like, you draw a picture, and you're painting, if you don't have certain colors that you're looking for, go get them. And we have to go get our colors that we're looking for to throw into the audio stuff. I know the sound. I know what we're supposed to sound like. People are engineering it. Aren't even really, I don't think they think about that stuff. I think they're just talking about the levels and mixing. There's a sound. Do you think we need another guitar in here just to beef it up? No one's suggesting that. I believe Metallica is doing 99 tracks of music to make a perfect, beautiful album. I'm not opposed to doing that, to have a beautiful album. what we sound live on stage is what we sound like on stage. If you're creating something, why are you stopping at what you do on stage? Why not add that extra colors that you want? Make it the most beautiful picture, audio-wise, that you can create. That's what I want to do when I get the studio set up. Many tracks. I want a beautiful picture and try to capture us as best as I think we should be.
Now, do you have any recording experiences of right now?
Yeah, I recorded all my. I told you.
Yeah, right.
Did we say this on camera? The rap stuff I
did?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, kind of. Yeah. You kind of touched on it.
So I'm not saying I was great at it, but I know I didn't really have the YouTube back then. I have YouTube. All I'm doing now is watching mixing and mastering and just recording processes, hertz, things I never even thought about then,
Yeah.
What a bass hertz should be.
Trying to find the frequencies, and where you can put stuff in and make
something I never even thought about. I'm just all going by sound. So that's what I'm hoping happens, that we get a really great product and put it out there. And our live, I think we kick ass live. I think.
Oh yeah, for sure. And like I said,
we got a great sound. Yeah.
Yeah, it lends itself to it for sure. Now, are you already starting? Like you wrote a lot of songs. I mean, we watched how quickly you guys were putting out songs and writing them, and they were just coming, and then you guys went into the recording mode. So the songwriting process kind of stops at that point because now you got your attention is based.
It doesn't stop. It's there. I got a bunch of songs. We get together once a week. I have like 5-6 songs to present. I can only really do one at a time because it takes us probably from beginning, starting it, learning it, figuring stuff out. Once a week, it probably takes 3 months to really get a song nailed it. Oh, I got it. I know what the changes are. 1 week, I remember what's doing that. I don't remember what the cues are. Let's do it again. It takes probably 3 months to really get one song tight.
And do you guys focus on one song at a time, or will you open up like?
Sometimes we'll dabble in two, but then it gets kind of a little confused. Like, if we were playing twice a week, we'd probably knock all these songs out like that. That's what we used to do when we first got together. That's why we were knocking out songs a little bit faster. Me and Deanne would get together on Wednesdays and Fridays, and so it's still fresh in your head. Now it's like Friday comes, we play the songs you have to play to tighten up, and then here's the new song. We just did like 3 new songs that we have, and it took a while because it was 3. So I like to kind of like, here's one, let's just
kind of breaking it down a little simpler.
Yeah. We're no rush to go anywhere. It's like the songs are there. I got them in my head.
How often do songs pop up in your mind where you have to like flush this shit out and get it out of your head before it starts really bugging you?
I drive a truck for a living.
So it's
I show you my phone. I have a memo pad.
Oh, is that what you do?
And it can just be one sentence sounds cool to me. And that's how I write, really. I don't ever think of a subject. I think of, if you saw the movie Get Back by the Beatles, the best example is what I do, is what Paul McCartney did writing the song Get Back. You're just strumming and just ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You kind of get this melody in your head. Then you start scatting just random words, whatever you want to say. And then you nail it. You hit a one whole full line. Like, oh, that's cool. What can I add to that line? It just because, to me, it's a puzzle.
All right. Oh, sure it is.
I'm no poet.
Well,
You're a poet. Let's talk about you for a minute.
No.
Come on.
We won't talk about me. We don't talk
He's
about
a
me.
great writer. Well, that's the problem. We should talk.
We don't talk about me on this show. That would be because people would turn off their
Ryan
sets.
is a great writer, and I'll leave it at that. Many, many, many words.
Yeah, but if everything I wrote was rated X, different
credit.
stuff.
You still get the credit for it.
Well, I mean, look, I do talk.
But you understand about it.
I do
the writing process.
Yes, I do. And I always ask everybody about it, especially lyrically and stuff like that, because I think writing music and writing lyrics are 2 different art forms. Yeah. So, like, not everybody's good at both. And, look at Rush. They're a prime example of that. 2 all really super talented guys. They get a drummer, and they're like, dude, do you know how to write lyrics? Yeah. He ends up being the lyric guy. You never know who's going to be that guy, right. Who's the guy who can do it, and who's, not always the singer's the best lyricist.
And it's not easy. To me, it's for some people. I don't know about for you when you write.
Well, when you write these songs now, so you got like I said, how many songs are on that first album?
I think there was like 10.
So okay, so you got 10 tunes, very catchy stuff. Always hooky, catchy. You have a unique style vocally. I don't think that I can say that you sound like somebody. Right. You sound like you, but you do great. You know, you're not you're not a pitchy. There's never a time where you're like, oh, you know. And I think, well, I think that, but you get that.
But I get pitchy sometimes.
Well, I mean, I don't care.
Right.
I'm half deaf. I'm just kidding. No, but seriously, what are some of your favorite songs on this first one that you guys put out? Like, what do you think are like some of the best songs? And do you feel like you've changed now? Like, as you're writing, and you know, like, do you have an idea what the next stuff's going to sound like now, based on how much you have already done?
I like to think of my songwriting abilities as like The Cure, the Beatles. I don't want to pigeonhole us. I don't want to be afraid to do something that might seem outside the box.
Yeah.
To me, it's about songwriting, and if you're not sounding punky and it sounds a little more romantic or lovey-dovey, whatever, but it sounds good. To me, it's about, does it sound good and is it catchy? Catchy to me is everything, but it's catchy to me. I don't know if it's going to be catchy to
Well, that's
everybody.
true. Catchy is hard to sell.
But I have to want to sing it, and when I sing, I am passionate. I put my voice into every song, and I'm that song while that song's going on.
Yeah. I
just feel it. And
I mean, like, is the listener going to hear the progress from the first CD music to where you guys are at now? Because
probably the quality of recording.
Well, yeah, you said the production should improve a lot too. But will there be something different about the music? Are you going to?
Well, in the beginning, I was rushing to make songs so we'd have something to play. So they came fast, and
so you're taking a little more time in the writing.
Taking time in it, but there was probably several songs that we don't even touch anymore because it just, if they don't resonate, no one says that sucks. It just
organically disappears.
I see. Into the ether. It's like, whatever happened to that song? Oh, we just stopped playing it. I'm like, I get it. Yeah. I get it.
They're not all great, right?
They're not all great.
Well, that's a fact. No matter what, and they always start some at some point they start great. They sound great up there, you know, and then they never kind of flesh out right.
Yeah, not structured right or something like that. Like I said, I was rushing in the beginning. Now I think I'm writing the best I've ever wrote ever. Just quality-wise, the catchiness, the riffs, just personally what I feel. It's up to someone else to judge. I just know I'm happy with what I've been writing lately.
Sweet. Yeah, and then that's the number one thing. If you can be happy with your own writing, chances are it will resonate with somebody.
Yeah. Put more thought into a little more thought into it, but still, I'm not a poet. It's a lot of scatting, a lot of till you hit something.
And you were saying like the performance is important to you.
To me, the performance
the
is
most important thing, basically.
Yeah, it's like we said earlier. It's not what you say; it's how you say it. It's how you present it. And if you can just sing, I mean, how many love songs are there? I love you. How many ways can you say I love you? A million.
Yeah.
Because it's been done.
Yeah, way over that.
Yeah.
What do you? Summer's here, basically. What do you see for you guys going forward this summer? That people can, you know, like, where can we come see you? Where are we going? You know, obviously you're just now starting writing new stuff, but I think you guys are already starting to get the boat rolling here, and.
Well, the nice thing is what I'm noticing, we've played out twice this year since the pandemic. We've been kind of playing on the coattails of Bittersweet Revenge. They let us open up a lot of gratitude for them and thanks and all that stuff. But we've always been playing for their crowd. This dog show is the first show that we played for not those that they're their people. It was a whole new branch of people that never heard us. These kids up here, you know, everyone goes in and out of each other's room. Yeah. They hear you. I heard them guys 1,000 times now. We went to that dog rock, and it's the first time we played in front of people who haven't heard us. And the response, the review is like, he nailed it. People are dancing. Like, that's always from the beginning. There's always one or two people you see, like, kind of, we got a bounce to us. Yeah. It's almost like to me, because I love the 50s music, I feel like people can go out there and jitterbug to some of our stuff just because of the beat. Not lyrically, But from the beat, it just kind of makes you want to move a little bit.
Yeah, well, the whole punk style,
Yeah.
you move. You know, there's a lot of movement to it. How many punk songs kind of have a 50s rock rhythm kind of in the back while the beat's a little faster, the vocals are a little harsher, but that's punk rock,
And I
right?
think that's where some of my songwriting comes from, is my growing up around the doo-wop sound. I never cared about the band. The song to me was always, I love that Blue Moon. The Everly Brothers, Kathy's Clown. Like, I gravitate towards that stuff. If I could pick a genre of guitar to be the best guitar player I could be, would be rockabilly. I wish I could play that stuff. And I think MonQue would be even...
The stand-up bass and...
No, I'm talking the hillbilly guitar. Oh, just the guitar sound.
Yeah.
The slap bass is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But that would be my ideal if I could pick one thing I could be really great at. Like I said, I'm not a great guitar player. I just know I can write songs. I'm not a great singer. I'm brave enough to get out there and do it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, you seem like you can strap your balls on real nice and tight when you know you're singing for some reason.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't.
Got to prepare and all that stuff. Yeah.
One real quick, I didn't really do this officially yet, and I want to real quick before we run out of time here, kind of waited till the end. I feel bad for the guys, but they didn't show up. They don't make effort to show up. You get announced at the end of the interview.
They have situations.
I
Let's
know.
be
I'm
fair.
just messing with them.
Yeah.
All right. So, Chris Esquivel, you are the vocalist, writer, and you do play guitar.
Rhythm guitar, yep.
You got Mondo Pino, and he's the bass player.
The phenomenal bass player.
Dion Slyman plays drums.
The sexy Dion Slyman.
Oh, he is the sexiest.
Very tight.
Oh, chicks go crazy over
Very
him.
sexual.
Oh, they go nuts. And then we have Adam Gray, who's the most recent guy, but still been around now for a while.
Still been around, yeah.
And if people want to kind of like get an idea of these guys, like I said before, you can watch the RPR episode from season 1, and that has Adam and Dion on it. And if you watch the Rochambeau episode from season 2, I believe, and that has Mondo on it.
Mondo's on everything. Everybody's.
Yeah, well, yeah, Mondo as far
he's
as
in the shadows
in this building and stuff. He's in with a lot of different facets and stuff. A lot of the stuff that we've had on our show, Mondo's involved with all that stuff, basically. Oh, yeah. And did you say though you guys will be playing out this summer? I mean, are you good? Did you have?
We're hoping. Well, I want to give a shout out to Galactic Reptiles. They're the ones who got us into the Dog Rock. They're the ones who got us into the 5 o'clock. It was supposed to be Galactic Reptiles and the best name for a band, Calling Monster Island. Isn't that awesome?
I've seen it. I've seen them.
I love that name.
Like pronounce, you know.
But it's the same singer in both bands. They had drummer problems, and they couldn't make the show, and it was their show. So they're like, we don't have 3 hours of material. So we learned a couple covers for that night. Kind of slow down our pace because when usually we're playing, we're trying to get as much as we can. So we're kind of like one to the next. So we kind of slow down. You got to breathe. The adrenaline's running. Talk a little bit, and we stretch it out to an hour and a half. Got paid $250. Mondo, I still have your money. So let me give it to
Hopefully you get paid before this airs.
I'm just waiting to see him. I haven't seen him. It's been 3 weeks now since that show.
What the hell?
Well, everyone's sick. And I get sick easy, so I don't want to be around any of that because I hate it. Oh, my God.
Yeah, getting sick sucks.
No.
All right. I think we're out of time. We're going to call it. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
Hell yeah, dude. This was fun, man.
You
had to pull all the weight, and you did it, though. You pulled it off.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, well, they'll come. Like I said, they already made their appearances, so I can't be too mad. They already.
Right.
They made
circumstances beyond their control.
It would have been nicer. I would have been nice to have them all here and kind of bounce everything around. But
a little bit, yeah.
We did fine. We did great, man. Keep your eyes out for MonQue. That's with the Q. And
Facebook, MonQue /band. So it's MonQue Band to get to our page on Facebook.
There it is.
You have to put band in it.
All right.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks again, man.
Appreciate
Keep your eyes peeled for these guys. And there'll be a new CD and all that stuff will pop up on levelupcleveland.com when it happens. Until then, we'll see you guys next week. This June 10th, Level Up Cleveland Concert Series presents Bittersweet Revenge.
You can try to live, but you'll have to try to die.
Olathia.
Time to rock and roll, ready for the sun shaker.
And Craig Martini.
I'm still here, I no longer want to stay.
See them all June 10th at the Maple Grove Tavern. Show starts at 8 p.m. 21 or over. Go to levelupcleveland.com for tickets and information.
That'll be fine.